Hello! Pull up a chair and join us in the alcove. Here with episode 67? 66? 67.
69 minus 3.
67.
Or minus 2.
Of our homebrewed 5th edition D&D campaign, the Chaoslands. As always, before we start, we have a handful of quick announcements, so let's go through those right now.
NordVPN.
This bit is fairly repetitive at this point, since if you're watching this, you'll know it already, but our change in playing location has made streaming rather untenable. As such, we're going to be uploading recorded VODs to YouTube instead of live streaming for the next little while. If you subscribe by hitting the like and subscribe buttons down below, you'll be notified when our next episode goes live. Aside from our channel, you can also go and follow us on all of our social media accounts, our Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, for all the latest news and schedule updates, as well as awesome character art, profiles, and other fun things.
Oh boy.
So many fun things. We also use a variety of background music to improve the ambiance of our game and stream. And you may recognize some of it from Critical Role's Welcome to Teldore, Welcome to Wildman, and Candela Obscura collection albums, as well as some royalty-free music courtesy of Riot Games. The links to those can be found below.
We lost our touch.
It's just not the same.
That's all the announcements. Anybody else have anything to add? Okay. Let's begin our dive into the Chaoslands.
There in the middle. Not sponsored by Skittles.
Oh,
Oh yeah, they're gonna
we got lots
Or
of
by
bacon.
Coke.
Yeah, we got lots of bacon.
We got
that
fucking bacon
more.
for days.
It's true.
The Iron Will.
Well,
After spending the last week or so traveling through the Frostfang woods, coming face to face with ancient fey creatures, undead wolves, vampires, bandits, and an ancient and powerful being known as the Night Wolf, have finally emerged from the cold and dark confines of the woods into a warmer, dust-hued savanna known as the Cradle Fields. Continuing your travel through this new and unfamiliar land in the direction of the Etherglass Desert and the Rexate of Siltia, you soon found yourself out of your element, at first due to the exposed and wide-open nature of the lands around you, and then by the rolling hills and the vast, untamed fields of tall, almost 6 feet tall grass. And surrounded by this tall grass, it led you to having a challenging time tracking and looking out for danger, especially for some of you, for whom the tall and lush foliage exceeded even your height, leading to a slow and difficult day's travel. On top of this delay, the lack of visibility proved even more challenging, and you found yourself surrounded in the grass by a group of orcs, calling themselves members of the Nox tribe, in the middle of a hunt. Having apparently lost some members of their hunting party prior to your encounter, they accepted your offer of aid, but with much convincing of their hunt leader, Jamila, by the more veteran rangers among their pack, as well as by some of your party. Your aid, however, proved to be quite necessary, as their quarry turned out to be a large dinosaur, much larger than they had expected. But after a difficult battle where they found themselves awed by your abilities, particularly the red lightning runes and the power used by Timon, who they called several names in their language, as well as the strange time magic used by Astra, who they, after he used it, avoided looking at, and mentioned the word the witch. Having witnessed your ability, in particular, seeing Timon's appearance as a sign from the god Agonaz, they agreed to help you in your travels as an experienced group of guides, heading towards the current location of their encampment, in a similar direction as where you were headed. As you wait for sun to set, and literally, after receiving the information from Jamila that it would be safer to travel at night with your particular attire, that's where we pick up tonight's session. Is there anything you would like to do while waiting for the sun to set before heading out? You can see the orcs have kind of made themselves busy. They've been busy carving up some of the meat and some of the bones from this large beast that you'd fought, cutting it up into pieces, wrapping it in leathers, strapping it to the two large sand-coated bears that you've seen. You can see that a few of them have just sat down or sharpening their weapons, sharpening their axes, sharpening their spears. One of the older ones, seems kind of annoyed at the wait, but the rest of them seem to be not paying much mind.
Is it one of the old ones?
Yeah.
Is he nervous about like staying? Do I feel like he just is worried about like any other threats, or is just impatient?
He seems impatient.
Okay,
Just an old man.
just an old man then.
They'll probably like. I think I was mentioning it last time, but I was helping in to just help cut the meat, see how they're doing it. But also while we're cutting the meat, I can also just take some dinosaur blood and do it too.
Have we moved yet? Are we at a
No,
camp?
this is like you're
Just
still at the
immediately
site.
Still at the corpse.
You're waiting. Jamila said that you would wait here until
dark.
sunset.
So it's kind of like a mini rest. Short
It
rest.
is a short rest.
Okay.
Qualified as a short rest.
Then I will approach where Timon's cutting up some bacon. Timon, if you recall, the other day we found, or potentially earlier today, I don't really know time very well right now, but we found that armor set from the Angel Boy. Do you remember?
Armor.
The armor that he was wearing, or was not wearing, that we've kept as payment for saving him.
Oh, right.
It looks like it's actually roughly my size. It might need a little tinkering. Do you mind helping me for just a few minutes?
Sure. Alright,
And
no
as
problem.
discussed on WoW last night, I will equip the new armor.
So you will have a couple of options with this armor in terms of what you make of it. The piece it was purely just an upper body
Yes.
piece. So as is, you can wear it as a half plate with. Let me just double check.
Well, half plate would be worse than what I'm wearing. So
Let me double check.
I have it written as plate here, which I confirmed from the video, but I will let you finish what you
I
said.
will double check.
What's the difference with half plate and chainmail?
Chainmail is better than half plate, at least right now, for me.
What's your dexterity?
5.
Oh, okay.
Does it make it worse?
So
Chainmail's
wearing my
still
chainmail,
good.
I'm at 17. Wearing the half plate, I go down to 14, and then plate is 18. So it's just one better than the chainmail that I'm currently wearing.
That doesn't. But I will take a look.
Yeah, I wrote it down as plate.
Right. Sorry. So you have two options. You can either wear it as is, as a half plate,
Okay.
or you can customize it and bolt it onto like
The existing
armor that you have, in order to make it into split. Or if you want, wait until like you get the full leg pieces, because he didn't have leg pieces to his armor. He was
Sure.
only wearing like the upper half of his body.
I will need to do some. So cancel that idea until I find out if splint will actually.
Splint
help.
should be objectively just better than chainmail. Like Splint should be one higher than chainmail. You might just have like your infusion
It
on
is
your
the
chainmail that's
exact-
causing it to be buffed
Oh,
up by
you're
one.
right. Yes. So
But
it would be
Splint
base
should
17.
be objectively better than
It'd be
chainmail.
base 17. Yeah. So we'll do
Yeah.
the splint then. So I'll get you to help me like attach it to my existing armor.
And if you
Okay.
get like lower body pieces to fit you, especially because like his lower body
Then
is
it
also
could
like
potentially
completely
become-
different from yours,
could
like your legs
potentially
are
become
much
plate.
thicker. You could build it
So for now, we'll do
into
the splint, and then I will spend the rest of the short
because
rest.
like you can take some of the pieces
Switching
off
the
and like
infusion.
bolt it to like
Yep.
leather and like your existing armor in order to make your current armor into splint.
Gotcha.
Well,
Okay.
Angel Boy used to be like half naked from waist
Yes,
below.
he also had like
Damn right he did.
wing sockets behind it
Oh.
that you have to like
Oh, we'll
basically
find something for those
repair
later.
and
Perhaps
restart.
you are right with being a little more breezy underneath.
Easy breezy. No, we're going for full cover now. My
The-
dex is
the-
already terrible, so.
So do you don't need any customizations done to it. You
No,
just
he was
need half
actually.
the
I
strap
might
in.
need a couple like straps to help it secure, but he
You need to
was
basically take apart the six like
Yeah.
this plate mail and like combine it
So we
with
might
the
need
six
straps
system
and
armor.
stuff, but
Like yeah,
We'll
connecting
figure it
with,
out.
like straps and it is a process.
All
If
right.
you wear it as is, it's just a half plate.
yeah.
How about we make some straps with some dinosaur leather?
Oh god damn. Let's do it.
All right.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Because I already got the dinosaur necklace, so we'll add some like cool whatever. I trust your
Well,
your
the leather will
visions.
take a little bit of time to tan, so you can build it like right now out of what you have, and then replace some of the leather pieces with.
Yeah, well,
properly
this will be
tanned
potentially a
hide.
Where are the
working
bloody
progress
straps?
over the next couple rests. We'll say.
But effectively, you will have.
Okay, so now my armor
So
costs
I
18.
got to finish my bacon here. So maybe you ask Arkmir to save
Sure.
you some of that dinosaur leather.
So yeah, we'll fill you in on it. Looking for a few straps of leather. We can start the
Cutting some more.
tanning and the process. So yeah, over the next couple rests, we'll get it done. Thank you, sir. Now, I'm gonna have to... Wait, we're saying we're combining the two, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think after this I can carry anything else. I have my old set of armor I'm hoping to sell. If we can't sell it soon, I'm gonna have to get rid of it.
Yes, because it is heavy,
Yeah.
and it's less even that it's heavy. It's just as cumbersome.
Yeah.
It's like two
It's
giant
really annoying how they
suits of
do
armor.
artificers because I have all of your equipment in here when it's an infusion. So I'm like, I don't remember having that, but like I have your Warhammer infused. I don't own it, but I have to put it in my inventory to infuse it.
That much weight on.
I don't. Some of this isn't mine. Remember, that's what I'm saying. Like I've infused other
You
things.
basically
that I
also have like 3 suits of armor.
No, not anymore. Not
What is
anymore.
your
If
weight?
we're like,
He
I'm
has 249 pounds on his.
no, but the plate's
not
not
really.
actually there. Like the
Oh,
plate
okay.
is the split, so I have to remove stuff.
Okay,
so that's what
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
doing
yeah,
right now.
26 pounds.
But yes, this doesn't
Huh?
exist anymore.
26.
126 pounds.
Oh.
This doesn't exist
How
anymore.
does Timon only have 92
I
pounds?
got a 404. God damn it.
Anyway,
Anyway, thank you. If you guys could help me over the next
Alright,
couple.
alright. Don't be angel boy or
as the,
That's all.
The sun, it's pretty late already in the day. It's roughly around 4:30ish p.m. You would reckon the equivalent of that. Sunset begins to come. Is there anything in particular you're hoping to get accomplished before heading out on this journey? Jamila is mostly just whiling the time away. Occasionally, she'll hop on top of one of the bears that's getting loaded and just like take a little bit of a
Oh, I forgot they had
look
bears.
around,
So cool.
just to survey the surroundings. Doesn't seem very worried.
Yeah, I guess I would just be watching them like collectively as a group to try to get an idea of, I guess, how, like you mentioned that Jamila just went up and like took a peek around, but like kind of as a group, how, like, does it seem like they're well structured in terms of kind of like watching their back and watching their surroundings and trying to make sure they're always aware of what's going on, and like are people rotating who's doing that, or are they kind of just like not really paying attention and just winging it?
They seem to be more on the latter side
Okay.
than the former. They don't really seem to have that much of a strong organization. Jamila is like looking out for them, and a couple of them are keeping an eye out, but they're mostly kind of just casual right now.
Interesting.
Does their armor or their weapons have any symbols, any runes, any marks, carvings on them?
Make a perception check.
Perception. First room.
What's Jamila doing right now?
She's keeping an eye out. She's the one who is actively like keeping an eye out to make sure that things are like there aren't any danger. There's any danger around. She like occasionally will hop on to a bear and will just like stand on top of the bear's back, looking around. Yeah, she's surveying things usually.
8.
Not that you can tell. It seems kind of like it's made up out of a bunch of different pieces of armor. There doesn't seem to be like a common thread or like a common style to it. A lot of it is just rough leathers, furs.
What about the armor or weapons? Do I recognize the forging or the origin of those weapons in any way?
Not really.
Nope. Okay.
There doesn't seem to be any similarity with like any weapons and stuff that you've seen. They seem fairly plain and rudimentary. They could be crafted by anyone, essentially.
I would like to use Mask of Many Faces to disguise myself as like a stalk of grass. So that when
Okay.
Isn't Mask of Many Face a creature?
Yeah.
Humanoid?
Yeah.
Disguise self as a creature.
But if I'm like the color of grass, and then maybe I've got some like funny hair that sticks up.
Sure. You look very weird. Your skin color and everything changes into almost like a greenish yellow, and your attire changes into like a greenish yellow. And your hair is like standing up in a point.
Perfect.
But as you do that, the orcs are very carefully not paying any attention to you. Like, they're explicitly not making any eye contact with you.
That's rude.
So they probably don't even notice.
That my plan worked. I blend right in.
The sun gets lower in the sky, and as the evening begins to come to, Jamila just hops off and grabs one of the leading ropes that they've tied to the saddle on one of the bears and turns to one of you. We should begin making our way. We have some ground to cover. We'll be traveling late at night. It may get cold. It may be dark and difficult to see. Just follow the person immediately in front of you. There will be moonlight, but she points like deeper into in the direction that you're headed. This grass will get deeper. It will be harder to see. We'll be slow. We'll be leading. One of our bears will be leading the way, making sure that there's no danger up ahead. If you spot anything, drop low, hide in the grass.
How long is the travel from here?
We'll try to cover good ground tonight. Camp tomorrow during the day. Find somewhere safe to camp. And then tomorrow night we should make it.
Is there any risk of danger or another encounter along the way? Just wondering if we should shore up our defenses a little bit.
There's always risk of danger.
Okay. In that case, as we start to leave, I will cast aid on people.
She nods towards the bears, and she's like, they
5, 10 hit points.
They will notice before we will if there's anything.
Doesn't it increase your max health by 5?
That's what I said. Yeah, your target each, so I'm choosing 3 creatures. I'll choose the 3 squishies. Yeah, your maximum hit point for the duration, which I will renew when we make camp, is increased by 5.
Nice, I have 69.
That's why I chose you.
She nods towards the bears and mentions that if anything too dangerous is coming, they'll notice before most of us. If you are looking to keep an eye out for danger, I recommend looking in the sky more than anything else. At night, very few creatures seem to traverse the grass. It's more so aerial predators that you should be more wary of.
Are there many more of those creatures like that?
There are.
There's flying versions of them?
There are.
Oh, man.
But also other flying creatures
Oh,
that
boy.
could be quite dangerous. Again, best course of action if you spot anything is to immediately duck in the grass, crawl around from where you were previously visible to this creature, and try to just hide.
Stop, drop, and roll.
I'm pretty
Got
good
it.
at hiding.
May I ask how adept you all are at traversing in the dark?
Pretty adept at it. It depends on the quarry that we're hunting. It depends on whether we're required to travel at night. This will also prepare you a little bit more for the desert. In the desert, do not travel by day. You'll find yourself exhausted, almost blinded by the reflective light from the shards of glass all across the dunes.
I'm gonna have to adjust my sleep schedule then.
Incredibly difficult to see much of anything in the desert by day.
Can you see well in the dark?
Good enough.
Dude,
Don't take my interest in
I guess my goggles would help for nighttime, right? Because that would then treat it as dark vision. Is that how that works?
What do they do? They give you dark
They
vision?
give me dark vision for 60 feet.
Oh, then, yeah, then you would be able to see for 60 feet.
Goggles go down then.
It's fine. I'm going to give you all...
Oh, god damn
Nice
it. But
ability,
they,
guys.
it's because I think they do it.
Yeah,
My
yeah.
goggles do it.
Just while we're
It's weird. My
traveling
goggles
for the
are
next
super
while,
right now.
I'll help us see a little better in the dark.
How far?
300 feet.
Oh damn.
Yeah, super dilated eyes.
Oh,
Yeah.
my goggles started
300
working
feet?
again.
Whoa.
Yeah. All your eyes now look like my eyes.
Can't see my eyes.
Your
right
eyes
now.
Wait a
always did.
minute.
Your
Yeah.
eyes always did, so it didn't make a difference.
You cannot see my eyes.
You can see better, but your eyes
Yeah.
didn't change.
One of the
They go
orcs.
either way.
Who was it?
Yeah. It's all white.
Orzal. Or sorry,
Huh?
Orzov. Oh, it's a new name.
Urzal.
No.
Urzog?
Urzog was
Urzog, Durog, Thrak,
Yes,
Gorza, and
Urzog.
Jamila.
Sorry.
Urzog.
Yeah.
Misread
fucking
that.
Isn't Urzog the guy from the
I have a
Hobbit?
note here from
Right.
last session. Fucking Urzog.
Yeah, he was the one who fucked up, right?
Yeah,
He like
he was the one
threw
who
the
fucked
thing
up.
and missed.
Burrell,
Nice to see you.
Gorza,
Urzog, Durog,
So little.
Thrak, Gorza, and Jamila.
You're so little.
Clan Nox.
Clan
I was
Nox.
trying to keep to the.
They hit the lines.
Yeah.
Gorza is the one who was looking a little bit impatient.
Oh.
Durog is the one who, like, first when him and Jamila first approached, he was the one who convinced Jamila to.
Oh, Durag.
He's looking across all of you, and he yells at Urzog, keep the bear, and you in the back with the bear. Thrak up front, and Jamila kind of nods and waves.
Can I ride a
signals up
bear?
ahead. No. You're already the tallest. I would encourage you to duck and
Yeah, I
travel
remember
low.
you saying that.
Try to not be visible among the grass from above.
I will do my best.
I've got it covered.
She looks and then immediately looks away after hearing her voice.
Yeah, this is something I said.
Keep an eye out for sinkholes. Keep an eye out for logs in the ground, tangled grasses in the ground. If you feel something latch onto you, don't struggle. Just give a shout out. And
What do you
don't
think that would
move.
be?
I think the dinosaurs are coming.
There's a set of plants. Most of the danger in this neck of the cradle fields is the flora.
Is there like
Plants.
poison plants over here?
You could say that.
Like ones that'll make you really itchy?
You could say that.
Spores.
That's part of why there are less dangerous beasts, except for those that can survive this.
Did the cloaks we bought, the black ones, do they have hoods? Because I know I'm not
Probably.
going to be able to crawl my whole way to this place, so I'm going to put my hood up
Well, just if you keep your head low.
and just try and hide as much as possible.
As the sun begins to set and then the sky begins to darken, she begins to motion, and you begin heading southeast. The plan for tonight is to travel throughout the night, camp closer to dawn. Who would like to make a survival check?
Is this a directional based survival check and or related
I
to
mean, you don't really
scent?
know which way you're going. You have a general idea, but
Can I smell my way to victory?
no.
Then I'm not going to roll.
This is
that
more
me?
so just
Probably
keeping an
is,
eye out
isn't it?
for other things.
16.
16. Okay. I will also roll for Jimmy.
Can't you modify it too? You can enhance it, can't you?
Only if I am proficient in it.
Oh,
Half proficient.
You're half.
You're as the sky begins to darken, you begin making your way. Eventually, it kind of just, as everything gets darker, thankfully with your dark vision, with their own ability to be able to see things in the dark. Whoever's leading the way with the bear and like helping carve a path through this grass for all of you, they seem to know what they're doing. They seem to be making pretty solid progress as the sun sets. The sky, which had started the day overcast, begins to thin out a little, and as the clouds thin, there's occasionally periods where moonlight begins to shine through, and you're able to see the general lay of the land, at least if you were to look up and look at the sky, you'd be able to see several birds and large creatures. You have no idea what they are, flying high above you. Occasionally you hear off in the distance
You might get to
loud
shoot a bird here.
howling or yelping noises, strange noises, the likes that you haven't heard before, almost like a
Okay, the dog will get it.
like strange hissing noises. You notice that the
Thanks.
orcs make a deliberate attempt at not speaking or not making too much of a noise while doing this, and they're trying as much as possible to stay quiet. That seems to be important.
We're still connected for 6 hours.
Can I walk up to Jamila?
Okay.
I'm gonna ask. You kept saying a name earlier. Al Haram. What? What was that?
No idea.
We talk at camp. Shh. They deliberately, like, you notice Simon walk up and get shushed a little, and they continue on. And the night's travel is fairly uneventful. To be entirely honest, she rolled a natural 20 on her survival check.
Shit.
She knows which way you're headed, is very carefully making sure that any traps you see. And you do notice that occasionally you'll be going in a direction and you're almost following this like conga line, like only really looking at the person in front of you. Very difficult to see which way you're going, and the person in front of you at the very front, Jamila, will often like veer off in like a different direction, and like you'll make a hard right turn and then continue.
Remember how
straight forward.
Dolian's to this snake?
Oh,
the
yeah.
big one's doing.
It might be hard, but I'm trying the best that I can with what I can see, get an idea of how exactly she is traversing this land, and like if we make a turn, I'm trying to get, without saying anything, just purely off of what I see, I'm trying to get an idea of like maybe why she turned there, so I can get a sense of like how to maybe best move around this land if for whatever reason, like if they're not with us. I'm trying to learn about like doing this. I'm trying to just get a gauge of if I can figure anything out.
Advantage on us.
Right. Make a perception check.
As she shushes Timon is like, "This is no way to treat your messiah."
19.
Good. The first couple of times she turns, you generally have no idea why she did it. But as time passes, you begin to notice almost like off in the distance from where like she would turn in the direction that you would continue. You would have to like look up and look through the grass to like be able to get a clearer sight, but there's something there. Usually it looks like almost like a little divot of sorts. Once there is like actually like hard lines that are like blocking your path that you're able to notice that are look like they're got like little thorns on them. So it's a variety of things. Sometimes it's off in the distance that she sees. Sometimes it's right up close, but she does notice it before any danger befalls you all. Once you notice some clearly like some claw marks or something that has like ripped large chunks of grass out that you come across. At one point there's just a giant boulder that seems to have like fallen from up above onto this like into your path, flattening a bunch of grasses all around it, making it almost like a little crater. And then growing on this, there's like this strange red moss. That's probably the most noticeable one because it's clearly like as you approach it, it's immediately obvious. Oh, something's here,
Right.
or like something happened here. Let's go around it. But there's a variety of those. I'd say you gather a wide array of things to look out for while traveling through this grassland.
Cool. Yeah, I'm just taking mental notes so that in the future I can keep looking for that stuff and not having to rely 100% on her.
We're basically walking through a cornfield, right?
Basically, yes.
Spoopy.
For reference, there is a type of grass in the real world called elephant grass. This is actually very similar to that.
I was born in this grass.
I don't think it's called elephant grass because elephants live in it.
Because they maintain it.
There are also spots where you'll just almost inherently, some of you will feel an itch come across your nose and like a desire to sneeze, particularly you because of your intense sense of smell. Make a Constitution saving throw for me.
Constitution saving throw. 17.
Okay. You definitely feel like rough. Like the pollen and the stuff in the air is really not helping your sense of smell. It's making it difficult to smell much, like, to be entirely honest.
I don't like this place.
There are a few times where the bears who are leading you along just like drop into a squat and take a dub. You do smell that, but aside from that, you don't smell much else. But your travel goes fairly smoothly, and as the night gets into the later parts of the day, you are all exhausted. You all do take 1 point of exhaustion.
God
from
dang
having
it.
a massive day of travel.
No.
Having traveled for longer
1
than
point
Take
like
a
18
point of
hours.
exhaustion.
But you'll be
Exactly.
doing a long rest very shortly, so
So don't
Just
take
means
it.
any rolls. Is that the first one? Just disadvantage, right?
Any ability checks.
How do you
Yeah.
add that again?
Right under conditions
Oh,
at
yeah,
the top.
conditions at the bottom.
And then scroll to the
Sadly-
bottom.
actually, I think mechanically speaking, each of you
Oh,
makes a
it's a
Constitution saving throw for that. So let's do it the mechanically sound way. Make another.
Oh, no.
Constitution
All of
saving
us?
throw. Okay.
Oh, 20. Dirty.
Yeah. So you're fine. You're able to pass through.
I'm just suffering
first-
through allergies.
Yeah.
8.
You get 1 point of exhaustion.
15.
You're fine.
I can carry you if you want.
Okay.
No, that's fine.
11, you take 1 point of exhaustion.
I've given myself my point of exhaustion.
Did everybody
Yeah,
get
just the
that?
long-
You succeeded?
What's that?
Just a
I was
long
just
day of
skipping
travel,
under
right?
the
Like you
grass
just woke
line.
up early in the
Yep.
day, you were traveling for an entire day, keeping yourself awake throughout basically another 8 hours when you would normally be going to sleep. You feel tired.
She really should have had some of that Mountain Dew.
But as eventually you find that the grass is also beginning to thin out, as this almost like it feels like this was a little bit of a valley, or what do you call it? What's the word for like a low point?
Ravine? Not that low?
No, not that low.
A pit.
fell into
foul.
the pit.
It's
A meadow?
Let's go with a valley. Essentially, it was like a little bit of a low.
Canyon.
the opposite
What's
of
the
a
opposite of a
plateau?
plateau?
What's
That's
the opposite
exactly
of a
what I was
plateau?
going to
A
say.
canyon.
No, anyways, it's fine. But as you begin to approach towards the end of this, like little field, the grass does seem to be getting shorter again as you're climbing out of it towards the other end. And you can kind of see off in the distance. There's a lot more like scattered plants and rocks. Particularly, she seems to be leading you towards a formation of 2 or 3 boulders.
Lowland.
Yeah, you have 4
Wetland.
choices. Lowland, wetland, valley, or fen.
Neither of those is the word I was looking for, but
Fen it is.
A fairway.
It is a lowland.
He's googling it now.
Yeah.
He's finding his own answer.
it's I don't know what it is.
It's okay, we know what you're talking about.
Yeah. It's
It
almost
does
like a
this.
little like divot in
Yeah.
the fields where the grasses seem to grow up, which would be harder to notice without having been through it, because from the outside it would look just like a uniform field of grass, with all the grass roughly about the same height. But having been through it and been through like the lowest points of this valley,
A ditch.
which
Which?
she guides you towards this formation of like 3 large boulders that seem to be sheltering a little bit from the wind and just the general environment. You have noticed also, as you've been coming out of the grass, as you look out in the distance, you can see more red lightning storms constantly, always. And you can also see on the horizon, well, you can only see 300 feet, so you can't see the horizon, never mind. You have noticed like red lightning off in the distance, to your left, to your right. You were keeping an eye out for it the last night. It does seem to be in different spots, for if that counts. There's one actually relatively close to you, but behind you, in the opposite direction that you were going.
Where we came from?
You've kind of lost track with all of the travel in the grass where exactly you came from, especially with all the turns and like avoiding things. But in the general direction of where you come from. But this red lightning actually, like, even though the sky has like clouds in it, this lightning seems to be more like seems to be stopping before the cloud line. So it's always like lower. Like the black clouds are lower than the natural like line of clouds. Which is interesting case of point as the morning begins to come and these clouds, even though they were thinning out, they're still fairly around you all, and it begins to drizzle and rain a little bit as you begin to set up your camp here just before dawn. It's interesting. This is for someone like you, this might be the first actual rainfall that you've seen that's not been produced by Magitech.
What is
Reasons.
this wizardry?
Trunk would be good.
Is this what rain feels like? I like
Feels
it.
uncomfortable.
Oh, I like it. It feels really nice, actually.
Right.
It begins to feel fairly chilly, especially at nighttime. It was already
Metal
fairly chilly.
wipers come on my glasses.
But as the rain begins to soak through you, and you find like a small shelter, but it's really not covered that much. It is still pretty wide open. You can see that the orcs seem to be enjoying it. They're not really shying away from it. You can see the water just like dripping into their hair or down their skin. It's refreshing them. They don't really seem to be feeling cold.
I have thick skin. I'm nice and cool right now.
I like the
That's
rain.
nice.
Did
calming.
we stop for camp?
Yeah, you begin to stop for camp, and the bears kind of like move off to the side. Jimmy Loving has a signal to you all.
What do you do?
We'll be stopping here.
What do you do when those get too close? And I point to the lightning storm.
Try to avoid them.
Have you ever been hit by one?
Probably a few people probably have gotten caught in it.
No,
Yeah.
I'm talking about you.
Oh no, nothing. The tribe, we stick together and we avoid danger such as that. It's only really when we're out for a hunt or out to prove ourselves or some stupid reason why people would have attempted to go near some of them. But
Has anybody
you take
been
it as
hit
a
and return? Come back?
we do occasionally go in the vicinity of them to worship and pray to Agonaz and pay our respects to him, particularly before a moment of particular importance or a decision that needs to be made, looking for signs, looking for we have a few I don't know what you would call them. These rune speakers. They look into the storm and divine decisions in our future and our.
Do they see runes in the storm?
I do not know. Probably. I would assume so. I'm not one of them. I'm mostly hunter. My mother was training to be one, but unfortunately she passed away a few months ago.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's the way of these lands.
This is the way.
I asked you earlier, what's the Al Haram thing that you guys
it's,
kept talking about?
In our fervor, we were saying the word Al-Ahra. It means the red one. It's a sign from. It's our word for the god that you and your kind know as the Destroyer. We believe he does much more than destroy. We worship him and we pay our respects to him. That is, when we go to the storms, when we go to the strange red lightning, that is his sign, that is his power manifest. We do that to receive his blessing, to worship him. Your power, your gift. Haven't seen anyone channel it with as much fury and as much raw power as yours.
I'm learning about it.
I'll just quickly interrupt you when I'm hearing this. Just be careful sharing all your secrets. We don't quite know these folks. Just be mindful.
I was mentioning earlier, Kutman, or the
Dad.
old tribe leader, the old leader of our tribes. He had similar gifts, abilities to channel the red lightning storm, but not to the same degree as yours. Not even close. But he was very adamant that he would only use it when absolutely necessary. So the fact that you channeled your gift to protect us, it means a lot.
How did he channel it? Or does he channel it?
I haven't seen him do it in years, but there are legends of him holding off beasts and a manner of marauders with his bare fists.
He has hands of a bear.
Sounds mighty impressive. I look forward to meeting this cute man.
Has he ever mentioned me?
Sunny?
Has he ever mentioned a son that he lost when his son was like 1?
Don't think so.
I
But
don't think he's my dad.
to be entirely honest, we don't. He is
That's what I think. Too.
he's quite old.
It's
He
not-
might have many children,
Oh my god.
who knows?
Brothers, sisters.
But he
I don't actually think he's my dad.
We
I'm
don't
just curious
really-
to meet him.
he's kind of a leader figure, but he's not. He spends most of his time sleeping, to be entirely honest.
Sounds like a good life.
When he wakes up and when he's, and she's saying this, but she gets interrupted by what's his name, Throck. What she's saying is when the old man
Oh, I like
decides to
this.
wake up and says something, we have to just do it kind of blindly because he's seen something in his visions or in the night sky or in the clouds or in the shit that the bear left out behind.
And you just follow him blindly because he sees these things?
Jamila nods and says, he has proven to be right more often than not. But there are some who believe that our tribe should be a little bit more independent from him, so to speak. The fact that he has not prepared any succession plan seems to not sit well with many other members of the tribe.
So earlier,
On the succession.
you had mentioned, well, when we first ran into you, that you were on your hunt specifically.
Yeah.
Maybe was that about proving yourself?
Yes. I wish to join the ranks of the huntmasters and the rangers of our clan to be responsible for heading out into the wilderness and bringing back food, goods, defending the tribe.
Were you successful?
I would hope so. We defeated this beast. I do have to. I do not know what accepting help from strangers means to it. But the fact that one of you seems to have been blessed by Alaram, that could hold some sway. That your intervention was destined
Excuse me, Jamila. You mentioned that the cute man would only channel the power. Jamila, over here. Here. Oh, I'm sorry.
Sahira,
I
we
still
do
have
not
the-
speak to you.
What? Me? Is she talking to me?
Is everything okay?
Oh, I'm not actually a blade of grass.
Do I still understand
I'll
that as
snap
witch?
back to.
Your spell did not last that long.
Oh, damn it. But I heard it during the thing.
Yeah, but you would have comprehended what it means.
Yeah.
Comprehend language is a little bit wibbly wobbly in terms of what you hear and what you understand.
Over here.
Is everything alright?
Over here.
Your magic, it was
Incredible.
strange.
I just heard incredible.
It was strange. It
Strange?
was unnatural. That beast died ignoble and unnatural death
I mean, it
thanks to
was
your
kind
magic.
of fucked up, to be honest.
Well, I
It's
didn't-
still very impressive.
Probably one of the
I
most brutal
thought
deaths.
I was just trying to help.
Are you afraid of Astra?
Make a insight check.
Have you ever seen a creature like that cry before?
Can I help since I'm next and engage in the conversation?
9.
24.
You don't really pick up anything because Jamila herself is pretty hard to read. And even you notice that Jamila doesn't seem to be paying any attention or having any sort of strong feelings. But with your 24, you do pick up that. Which one was it? Gorza. He has been almost as soon as Astra started speaking. He was like holding on to like a necklace or amulet that he was wearing and just like rocking back and forth, just whispering things under his breath. You just pick that up out
Doesn't
of
want to
the
be enchanted.
corner of your eyes.
Yeah, I'll just. So I asked her straight up if she was.
You were
afraid.
looking at her and she was. It says, "No,
Oh, I mean, you can talk to her. She's not a witch. If anything.
she the source of my mind. I want nothing to do with it."
There's nothing really.
She's pretty harmless. I mean, aside from the fact.
How
that
do you know she isn't already in your mind?
Oh, we've talked to each other in our minds all the time. It's rather cool. She's harmless, other than.
I think at this point you also notice her like
and,
you notice Jamila like close her eyes and just like begin mumbling something under her breath.
I mean, and I'll message her. I mean, we can talk in your mind if you'd like. It's harmless, I promise you. I don't have any sort of weird
this is
magic.
not-
go well.
The whispering in the mind is not the same as stopping a creature's death by
Stopping.
its natural wounds. The way that that creature died, you can't tell me that that was natural. You cannot tell me that that was the way it was fated to die. It was strange magic.
I mean, I come from a city of made-up magic. We created our own. That's not necessarily
Who
natural
decides
either.
fate, anyways? Maybe it was fate to die in the way that he died.
Your magic is strange and terrifies me.
Oh, so you are scared.
Busted. He got you.
I'm not scared of you. I'm scared of your magic.
Well, I don't have to. I don't have to use it, I guess. Just a little bit.
I'm a friend of the lass. She.
And that is why we are still traveling together.
She means well.
Don't get me wrong, there are many practitioners of magic and strange sorcery among the tribe. Even things that would normally be considered dark as blood magic, as necromancy. We do not necessarily frown on those, as those are ways to stay alive in these woods. But what I saw yesterday, something about it didn't feel right.
It was fucked up, but she means well.
You know, I'll admit it was a little fucked up. I may have got carried away. But I also was just trying to keep our party alive, too. We don't know you guys that well. That's why we're kind of gathering here and we're having this nice chat. But I was worried that we were going to get hurt. It was a freaking dinosaur.
That's how you said it.
Yeah.
Dinosaur.
I understand that you meant well, but some of my Gorza doesn't like magic, even any kind of magic. He gets a little bit rattled.
Is that person over there? What's up with that?
He was praying for protection from the witch.
First of all, I'm not a witch.
The word we refer to people like you as Sahira.
Oh, so
The witch.
you're. Well, Arkmir and I will just go over here then. If you don't like tieflings.
Oh no.
I don't believe.
Well, maybe if we get into another fight, we can stay to more barbaric ways of fighting.
Feel free to use magic as needed, but
Perfect.
just be mindful that when you're among our tribe, there may be some who will definitely be some who are awed by you, and some that are terrified of you, and everywhere along that path.
Is Gorza still?
Yep.
Having these thaumaturgy.
Dramaturgy.
To just like rumble the ground below him.
He's just like gets terrified and just like closes his eyes and like
Such a bully.
You'll notice that they aren't lighting a fire. They're going to camp without a fire.
Yeah.
But there is a little bit of a clearing here beside the rocks in order to where you can set up bedrolls, or you can even set up like any other things that you want. Jamila turns to you and says, this power of yours, these abilities, were they a gift from the Red One? How did you get them? Did you train? Were you blessed? Are you a worshipper? Do you believe in the cycle of destruction? Or do you believe in the cycle in general?
I'm just learning of all of these things.
He got hit by lightning.
I did.
Interesting.
Long story short, I was kind of looking for somebody, and then I ran into or close to one, and then I got hit. And then I started seeing some things, hearing some things, and sometimes I say "Arg," and then as soon as I say that, you see the rune flare on my hammer a little bit. I guess it's on my back.
Have you been to a shrine of Vaganaz? Have you prayed?
I've seen
Are you a believer?
I've seen a big obelisk with like a lightning bolt on it. It helped us. What's this shrine?
Oh, they're scattered about places where in the past there's either been worship done or some sort of monument to a particularly powerful storm that passed through and destroyed.
What do they look
everything
like,
around it.
these shrines?
No, I haven't been to one.
Is that a symbol or something?
It's that. She points to that. And she also like points to the red lightning storm off in the distance. Those usually. You can pray to him anywhere, but there are ruins and ruined temples from a long time ago.
Have you been to one?
I have not. I'm not one that is strongly religious. I believe in our own capabilities to not the gods, so to speak. But
you do have your reverence.
I do, because if it was not for him, these lands would not. I guess these lands would maybe be better, but we would be less hard. I think our tribe is good. Our tribe is close. We keep each other safe. We live happy lives mostly. We move. We
Are
travel
there
with
bad tribes?
There are.
Like who?
Hopefully you don't encounter them out in the desert, but there are tribes of raiders and savages that
Do you know the
prey
Deadwood
upon them.
clan?
Have you heard of the Deadwood Clan?
I have heard of the Deadwood clan.
Are they
Aren't they?
good or bad?
I think they're mostly good. They're not around here though.
Yeah,
I
so
believe.
far away.
I think we've had some dealings in terms of some trades. And they tend to. They have a close association with the city in the woods, in terms of dealing with fabric. It seems like they
What
have.
city would that be?
City in the
I
woods.
do not know the name.
Quick, grab our map. City in the woods. City in the woods.
Marion?
Marnoan?
I do not know its name.
It's either that or Denmark. Denmark. Interesting.
We've had a few trade dealings with them, I think. But aside from that, not much.
Well, if they're looking for a missing elephant,
Should we watch out for any of these other bad tribes? What are they called?
They are called.
Is there anything about them that if we spot, we should stay the fuck away?
If you see anybody, well, that's not entirely true. If you see a large group of people riding black-winged birds,
Nascals.
try to stay away from them or hide from them. They're mostly around the desert.
oh good,
Yeah.
that's where we're going.
But if you're closer to the city, most of the winged birds there will be safe. So that's why I was a little bit hesitant. The city guard of Sylvia tend to ride mounted beasts and creatures out from tunnels underneath the city and keep a watchful eye on its perimeter. But
Noted.
I'll be putting down a bit of a protective barrier for the rest. You and your people are welcome to stay in it if you'd like. It'll be mild, dry.
I don't think they will all fit in it. It's really not big enough for them.
10-foot radius.
Yeah, it's like 10-foot radius. It's like 20 feet by 20 feet. Each person takes roughly 5 to 10 feet.
Actually, if you don't mind, I actually never experienced rain before.
No, it's
I think I might camp outside tonight. If that's okay.
if there's room and people want to.
It's cozy in there, trust me, but this is kind of cool.
I also just wanted to say it's very honorable of you to want to be a ranger to protect your people, help provide for them.
Thank you.
You have my respect for wanting to do that. It might not mean much, but you have it.
Thank you. I also wanted to thank you. If it wasn't for you and your magic, some of us would definitely have fallen yesterday. So.
I do what I can, but it's her you should thank. And I'm pointing to wherever the moon may still be visible.
They pointed to me.
You like light up.
Unless you were like up in a tree above me, I did do this.
You like quickly climb into the.
It is still visible though in its setting.
Yeah.
You were a devout worshiper.
Yes, of Limbari.
Interesting. It's, our kind, there are people of all kind among our clan and among the people who roam these lands in general. I myself am not a strong believer, but there are people who worship all of the deities. I think many pay greater reverence to Agonaz because he's not up there. He's here with us. He's a part of our lives every day. We look up and we see where the storms are, and that affects us. So I think anybody who lives and roams these lands pays much more reverence to the Red One than to your god. But I'm sure she is helping us survive and keeping us alive in some way. So.
And she helps show us the way when we travel at night.
That she does. I do appreciate that. Mm-hmm.
We should get some rest. Some of you look a little tired.
Yes, it was a long day of travel.
I can
We'll
take-
probably break camp again tomorrow. evening and continue travel, and we should probably arrive at these rocks. We often camp here. It's a pretty common, and you'll notice now as you've been like setting up camp, there are markings on these rocks that clearly indicate that these have been visited before. You can almost notice like some carvings. As you take a closer look at the carvings, you notice there is a symbol of like an eye that is carved onto it, and that seems to be like as one of the older orcs, as they were setting camp, they walked up to it and began like carving something underneath it.
When nobody's looking, I'll take a T-Rex tooth and carve in an elephant man beside some of the people on the carvings.
I'll walk up to the big one. So, after you're done, do you want to work on that
Yes, we should before we get a little shut-eye.
armor of yours?
Shouldn't take too long, but yeah, that'd be great.
Do you want to do it now or after we rest?
It's up to you. You look a little tired.
I'm a little tired.
I could take first watch and we can do it first thing morning.
Probably a good idea.
We'll give the leather some more time to settle.
Alright.
Get some rest.
Normally I would be up for the first watch, but I
Please.
think
I'm
don't-
excited.
I don't need it as long, so I'll be up shortly.
You can all get some rest. I'll watch out. And then while I'm watching, I'm not going to dive too deep, but I'm going to ask Artmere for that little flashbang bot. I want to start drawing up some schematics. Just very not going to distract me too much, but I just want to start looking at it.
I forgot that I have to add that to
Yeah.
the character sheet.
And added a little face to it.
Oh, perfect.
Smiley face.
Why so serious?
Make a perception check for me. Just
Yeah.
as the rest of you turn in to go to sleep.
I take my breeches off.
17.
Gorza in our circle, or is he?
No, they don't tend to get into like the
Okay.
dome. You see the magic; they're mostly just staying out from it. You did make the offer, but they don't.
Mhm.
seem to.
17.
First, little bit of your watch goes fairly uneventfully. It's really nice, actually. It's quiet, and as the sun begins to rise, it does become kind of annoying sleeping during, like, trying to sleep in this bright sunlight and like a little bit of shade. But you are all so tired that even if you do wake up with the sun shining on your face, you just roll over and cover your heads and go back to sleep. The day is actually beautiful. There's the rain after like the drizzle in the morning begins to clear out.
Oh no, I
The
can
sky
make
remains-
the interior whatever I want, dimly lit or dark.
Okay.
So I would make it darker so that it's not sun. Yeah,
Blackout dome.
yeah. No, it's not like pitch black, but it would be like dim to dark.
Tinted glass,
Yeah.
almost.
Well, you sleep fairly comfortably, but even if it was bright, you were so
Just so
tired.
tired.
Yeah.
Towards the end of your watch, you do notice that a few of them, one or two of them, have been staying up and they've been rotating as well throughout
I'm
the watch.
not going to disrupt them. I'll
looking
kind of just
around,
keep an eye and see
You
what they
notice
do.
that at some point during the night, the two bears kind of went off. Like,
Hunting a little bit.
they when they camped, they actually took all the stuff off of the bears, the saddles and all the back meats and everything,
Cool.
and like laid them off to the side, letting the bears kind of free to wash themselves in the rain, in the little drizzle and rain, and then go out hunting for food.
Sweet.
The watch goes pretty uneventfully.
So I'll wake up whoever's next.
I'll be waking after 4 hours. So
Out there, you are used to it by now. The dream, persistent vision that you keep getting. It's strange this time, though. There is something different to it. Something that just prickles the back of your neck. That makes you feel like there's danger. You have this sense of danger and unease. That something's not right. Not just with the dream that you've been seeing, that you've been used to, but something doesn't feel right. Make a perception check.
Fucking goddamn piece of shit. 10.
God,
Kelthir, wow. Like waking up to the
Find
noise.
yourself opening your eyes.
Like, it was almost a 20.
You find yourself opening your eyes and coming to, and you. There's just something about what you saw that just feels different. That feels. You've gotten used to this dream, and because of your normal, like, your note taking and everything, you know what to expect from this dream, from this vision, but something isn't right. But you can't pinpoint what. You wake up, the big one, you begin to turn in for
Yeah,
the
camp outside.
night.
Enjoy the remaining little drops of rain and then the fresh air.
Make a perception check to see if you spot anything in your surroundings that seems of danger.
Come on, not a 2. So much better. 13.
That's a 3.
It's 5.
At the camp, a couple of, as they do their watch rotation, they do begin to set up like a small fire pit at this point now during the day, which feels odd to you that you'd be lighting a fire in the day as opposed to at night. But you gather very shortly after the fire is set up that they're doing it to cook some food, to prepare for a meal. So they begin to warm up like a pottle on it. A pot on this like makeshift campfire, preparing to maybe make some food or some rations or some stew or something. Honestly, fairly uneventful. Occasionally, you do pick up again sounds in the distance. At one point, it seems like Jamila, who's one of the folks keeping watch here, gets a little bit tense and has her bow, like, pulls her bow off of her back, cocks an arrow, begins to look around.
Do I hear or see anything? Like, does she look like she's looking in a specific direction, or she's like trying to get a sense of where something is?
You can see that she's tracking something in the air.
Okay.
But you didn't notice it immediately, but she did. You can see her almost narrow her eyes and look out at it. But very shortly, maybe like a minute, 2 minutes after, she puts the bow back, and the creature that you were looking out in the air, you can kind of see it's not heading in your direction. It seems to be flying off in a different direction. But there was definitely something that spooked her a little bit. Yeah, the rest of your watch goes fairly uneventfully. Towards the end of your watch, you begin to wake up. The rest of the companions, the rest of your group, have a little bit of time to come to. And it's a bit late in the afternoon that you end up waking up, but there's still a little bit of time before sunset in the evening. The march begins for you if you'd like to do something.
We'll work on the armor for a little bit.
I would like to do it once I clear my point of exhaustion above the table.
I'm assuming we
You
got our
can
long
say that
rest.
this is a
Yeah.
long rest. Yeah.
Also long rest.
Yeah, okay.
Durag and Gorza are the two that are mostly sitting around cooking and preparing some food as well. And they've invited you to eat
Goodbye,
before
exhaustion.
before traveling.
I
and
go
heading in.
sit down with them. Is anybody else awake with me?
I think
I'm
we
awake.
all
everyone,
are because
but
he
basically
can
the
cover
end
the
of the day.
majority of the watch.
He did.
Huh?
You'd be sleeping.
Yeah, you'd be
for a little
sleeping.
bit long.
Yeah.
But the rest of you usually mostly wake up towards like the tail end of his watch.
I come in and I said, hello. You are Trok and Durzog, is that right? You are Trok and Durzog, is that right?
Trok and Urzog are the two who are like the bear riders. The two sitting at the fire pit are Durag and Gorza.
So Durog and Gorzog.
Yeah.
Do they look young or old?
They're the two older ones.
The two older ones?
He was the impatient guy, of course.
Was
He's also
one
the
of them
scared
the
one.
one that
Yeah.
was
Yes.
shaking? Do I notice what the chain has on it?
He might have tucked it away. Let me just make a roll. No, actually he hasn't. It looks like a primitively carved stone, but it does seem to have a rune on it similar to the rune of Agonaz that you've seen, like a lightning bolt symbol. Not like very well done. It's just roughly carved into it, but it does seem to have that symbol on it.
Old timers. How old are you? If you don't mind me.
Not very. Like, I need to look up the normal age of orcs. 1 second.
Are they full orcs or?
Hey
they're
what's
full
the
orc.
average age of an orc?
Around 60 years, something.
Oh, alright. Have you ever seen somebody go into a lightning storm and come back?
No.
Have you ever heard of somebody going into a lightning storm? Or getting swallowed by one?
Yes, there have been people. There have been times when the camp has been too slow in their moving, and some of those slower caravans and carriages have gotten caught within the storm. Haven't seen them ever. Happens from time to time, but not recently. Gutman's visions keep us safe, and they keep us away from the storms very often.
Is this destroyer god kind to you?
He is not. If it wasn't for him, we would not be as capable, as strong, as free, as able to protect ourselves. Gutman is blessed by him, and we accept that if it was his will, we would not be here, because there would be a storm on us any moment. He is this land. Everything that we walk through exists because he lets it.
What does he ask back of you?
He doesn't ask anything of us or back. He simply is. He destroys things that maybe not even needed to. He destroys things indiscriminately. He keeps things alive indiscriminately. He is freedom. He is the freedom to choose what you want to be, what you want to do at every moment in time.
What do you want to be?
Oh, I've lived a very long life. I have not much to want now. Now I just want to get back home, get back to the camp, and see my wife and my child, and that is all.
You have a young one.
I do. She's feisty, little
Oh.
girl.
What's her name?
Her name is Samra.
Samra?
Samra.
Very
She's,
nice name.
she's beautiful. I would do anything for her.
You know, names are powerful. The best weapons have names.
They do. Does your hammer have a name?
It does.
What is it? If you don't mind me asking.
Stoneheart.
Powerful name.
It used to be. What did it used to be? It used to be. Stonebreaker. But then it got broken. It got broken after after I started having the gifts that I got. But then it cracked and shattered. Maybe the destroyer had to do something with that. I don't know. And the piece that was left, I remade it into this, and then I pull it out, and then you can see that like in the inside there's almost like a perfect sphere of stone that has some markings on it. So stone heart.
I'm sure if he wished for your old weapon to be destroyed, it had its reason for it. And I'm sure if he wills his rune and his energy through this one, there is a reason for it. But
Does your weapon have a name?
no, this is barely even my weapon. The weapon is this spear belongs to the tribe. I'm simply borrowing it for this hunt. Most of our equipment does. It takes a rare few to have weapons of their own in the tribe.
What about the name Nox? Nox.
We are the clan of the Eye.
The clan of the Eye. Is that what they mean?
We were originally formed by a group of individuals who believed that the storm, the clouds, the lightning, they received a vision in it, something to do with an eye. That was the tale that was told.
Is that what the cute man sees? The eye.
I know not, but he does have a very prominent tattoo.
Of a knife.
Yes. Right on his forehead.
On his forehead.
Crimson eye. Which he uses, according to him, to receive the visions and blessings of our God. I know not how he got it, but apparently our prior tribe elder also had something similar, and the one before him, but Gutman is the last.
And what about these beasts of yours? I never seen bears quite like them. Do they have names?
Oh, sand bears. They live in the desert. It's rare for beasts such as these to be out of the desert, but we've tamed them and domesticated them. We have maybe 3 or 4 of them at the tribe camp, and they're mostly used for hunting.
Are they friendly? Can I get close?
They're pretty well domesticated. They're trained. We train riders to hunt on them, bring back, transport them. They can be mighty ferocious beasts in battle, but not usually when they're carrying someone. When they're carrying someone, they're mostly bore down. But if you catch one on its own, it can be quite vicious.
Very nice. By the way, very good this dinosaur, but tastes like chicken.
Question quickly. How far away from the dome did they set up the fire?
Not very far.
Can I hear any of this conversation?
Yeah, I don't think they're trying to be secretive about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have to stay in the dome until it's gone, so.
And I will try to get close to
Just
the...
stand there well,
Yow.
people are still sleeping. I assume this is when he first woke up.
I
I
will
guess
try
you guys
to
are
get
probably
close to the
right,
bear and pet it.
Make an animal handling check.
Oh boy, that's not gonna go well.
You slap it in the ass.
That wasn't 20, 30.
The bear has also just come back from hunting and is just like lazing about now after a long night of travel and like sleep, and it's kind of relaxed though as you come up and approach it. It's fairly calm and lets you pet it.
Here to here, the big boy. Here to here.
Your dome lasts 8 hours, correct?
I think so.
Towards the end of your dome,
Jesus.
as your dome fades, the big one's still sleeping. The rest of your companions,
Yeah.
Timon is woken up a bit early.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of your companions, Arkmira and Astra, are still asleep.
Mm-hmm.
You notice Hoku hopping out of the bag that he
Okay. Is he doing anything? Or he's just popped out?
You notice. I'm assuming you're not sleeping with the staff strapped to your back.
No, I would
It would
have
be sitting
had it.
off to
No.
the side somewhere.
Yes, I would have had it close to me, but wrapped up.
Easily
Yeah.
accessible for her.
You notice Hoku approaching the wrapped bundle that I don't think Astra mentioned that she... Did she mention that she was stopping or like wrapping the staff up? Maybe you haven't...
No.
I mean, she
Notice
wrapped
it.
it up, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, I would have noticed her
She
staff.
did make
if
the
it was
staff
wrapped.
talk to a
Yeah.
bunch of us. So.
Yeah.
But that was
yeah.
before I started turning
Yeah.
on the stuff.
But you notice Hoku crawl out of the bag and approach this like long wrap bundle that you saw Astra had on her back that was
Okay.
vaguely in the shape of her stuff.
Mhm.
He's approaching it and it's just like sniffing at it a little bit.
If all he's doing is walking around it, I'm just watching him.
Cut him in half.
Zap him.
As your dome begins to fade, he hops on top of it,
Okay.
grabs it with his legs,
Okay. So I'll walk over.
and begins to take flight.
I will go to grab it then.
To take flight.
Can he lift something like that?
Yeah, how strong is Hoku?
He's a
It's
strong
pretty
boy.
weak.
I mean, it's just
It ain't
staff.
Hoku. It's boy and wall.
Make a dexterity check.
He has strength of 6. Thank you.
Yeah, so he's super weak.
Can't do shit. That's not good.
Just a dexterity check.
Basically, like initiative to see where you go. In
If
turn
it's
order.
initiative, then I have
It
advantage.
would be initiative.
Okay.
We're just deciding how this happens in turn order.
Probably no better than that because I've been rolling like shit. That's better. 11.
He rolled a 12. So he does get to react first.
He rolled initiative as well.
You're like,
You
You're
don't see
not
it.
paying
Yeah,
attention.
you're at the
It's like a
Fuck,
mildly
I'm
opaque
bear.
tinted dome
yeah,
that's
you
just
can't see
coming
the
off.
dome.
So Hoku grabs it and immediately takes flight. What is his movement speed?
15 feet.
Oh no, that's
and
flying
then fly
is 60.
He takes off like 60, 100 feet away from you. He uses dash action.
Mm-hmm.
But you do get to react, and as the dome comes down, Timon, you make a perception check for him, like an active perception.
Oh my.
Flies actually.
He's gonna shoot the bird.
Perception?
Wishes do come true.
15.
You notice, like as the dome coming down, maybe you look in the direction because the dome is coming down, and you notice the little Hoku flying up, carrying this like wrapped cloth bundle tightly between both of its like front legs and hind legs, and just take off into the air pretty fast.
Can I react?
You will get to react first.
Okay.
But okay.
It's about 100 feet away.
So yeah, if he's 100 feet away, then I can't even.
Am I still asleep?
Yeah, you rolled a pretty good spell check.
Yeah,
If if somebody else like wakes you up or says or does something, then yes. But
No, the thing I was gonna do does not work if he's 100 feet away from me. So I'm just gonna shout to say, Astra, Hoku's taking your staff.
Huh?
you do wake up now, but Timon, you get to react first as she's waking up. I'll also say, Arkner, by now you will also wake up to this shout. You're still kind of asleep because you fell asleep a bit later. You do get to react. You see Hoku about 100 feet up in the air carrying the stuff.
Okay, so I grab my rifle and as I'm doing this, I ask the other orc, shoot it, shoot it, shoot it, and then I shoot at it.
Roll to hit.
Finally.
What is the range on it? I'm assuming you have the scope anyways, right? So you don't have to.
Before I do that,
Yep.
could I have used my bonus action to initiate my storm rune?
Yeah, probably. It is your turn, so yeah, you would be able.
Okay, so I use my bonus action to do that, and then I use my reaction to give myself advantage as I take this shot. God damn it, hit it. It's still only a +1, so that's a 15.
What is Hoku's armor class?
Probably
13.
Probably not that high.
Yes.
It does hit.
Okay.
Roll damage.
Thunder. Actually, it was 16 because it's a +1 bullet.
Then you get triple the dice.
Oh yeah, it was.
Do you have 1 HP?
3.
7.
Is it even? It's not even possible for him to shoot that low. I don't think,
No, it is.
because of your plus.
Well, I forget.
Isn't it like?
Thunder is no, it's a plus 1d12 plus 1
Oh, okay.
plus 1 from. I don't remember this part. I don't remember if it's 3d4 plus 1 because of the bullet, or if that plus 1 already includes.
That wouldn't include the bullet.
No.
No.
Okay, so
The bullet is separate ammunition.
how much did you say?
7.
Yeah, he's dead.
No.
So 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 2.
11.
He did. Maybe, unless
11.
he turns into the boy and then kills us all. TPK.
Your bullet, you take aim and
Yeah, and
you
I have the
focus, you
scope,
channel
too.
on the storm rune to guide your shot, and you take aim and you
It curves like one.
fire off a shot, and the loud bang explosion definitely draws the attention of everyone. Both
I
of
just
you
open one eye.
come to. You take a look up and you just see your shot connects, and Hoku fades away into nothingness, and the staff begins to fall. And Hoku was flying a little bit at a distance, so the staff is curving away from you all.
Do I see any dinosaurs when I open up quickly?
Make a perception check.
I mean, I
Well, you're lying in bed. You don't see
Natural
much.
20.
You don't see much.
I go back to bed.
I took an action, a reaction, and I shouted. So I did way too much already.
I guess I run out of the dome. Did I?
The dome is.
The
The
dome's
dome is
gone.
Oh,
going
the dome's
into-
gone.
yeah.
Okay.
You just wake up to your bird going.
And the staff is falling.
Yeah. That way.
What did you do? And I'm just gonna run after the staff and go. I'm gonna go find the staff.
Makeup, investigation, or perception check.
It's now
Can
hooked
I
onto a
roll with
roll with
Tyrannosaurus
this?
Rex
Because I know
collar.
exactly.
You can.
Like, yeah. I'll be following. Wait, perception or investigation?
13.
Yeah.
Can I roll myself?
Yeah.
Okay.
You did what needed to be done.
25.
Yeah.
You both rush off to look for the staff, and Kelter, you're the first one to find it. It has come loose from the cloth that it was wrapped in.
Don't touch it.
You have a moment
Pick it up,
while it's
Kelter.
lying in front of you before Astra notices or knows anything.
I didn't touch the staff when it was offered to me. I'm not going to touch it now, but I will. I'll just stand by it. Say, I found it. It's here.
Don't touch it.
I wasn't planning to.
Wasn't going to, but now.
I'm gonna run over. I'm gonna wrap it up carefully again so that none of it is exposed.
No, the cloth is stuck off some slide.
Pterodactyl
off
came
somewhere,
and got
so
it.
You have to find a new piece of cloth to wrap it in. I'm sure you have some just lying in your bag that you
Okay.
can
They've
just
done
use to
some
wrap.
out there.
But you'd have to rush back, grab your grab fabric, come back to the staff,
Okay.
wrap it up because you don't want to lift up the staff with your hands.
Okay.
Um,
I will. I
you
will
could
do
also
that.
just lift up the staff with your hands.
Do it.
I feel like the DM wants me to.
It's up
So
to you.
proud of
I
myself.
don't want anyone to do anything.
Do it.
Uh,
Do it.
So you
I
go
will-
back to
No, I
Do
guess
it.
no. I
Do it.
I will pick it up to bring it back to wrap it up.
Wrap what?
You feel like as you reach your hand out to pick it up, you feel something just like
Including my mom.
resisting you.
Like pulling me away from it?
Yes. You feel like you don't want to touch it.
I'm not going to touch it then.
Did I visually see anything other
You
than
saw
just
her
like
like going out to grab it almost instinctively to just like really quickly wrap it up and like held back and then like moved her hand back. And
okay, but there was not. I didn't see anything visually like holding her back.
Don't touch it. Stay here. I'll be right back. And then I run back. And as I'm running back to get like my backpack and some like fabric, pick up a rock, throw it at Timond, and then
Ow!
run back to the staff to go and wrap it up carefully.
Your stupid bird was stealing
He's
it.
not a bird.
He's not a bird anymore.
Where's the art?
What?
Where's the art? It's not a bird art.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's not.
Oh yeah. Hang on.
Touche.
Oh.
Touche.
I drew that just the
Astra,
other day.
as you're running back, you notice out of the corner of your eye behind, there's like a little tall, like, one of those like wide-limbed like trees, like the long, wide, arching like
Like those
tree canyon
for Brazil.
things. Sure. The type that are very frequently found in savannas, and behind the trunk of it, you notice something.
Mm-hmm.
A figure standing behind.
A
the tree.
figure?
That's what you make out. Wearing a dark cloak. Just standing there, leaning up against it. But it's like back towards you, or the side towards you, technically.
I'm gonna slowly approach the figure. And is he within my line of sight?
No, this one you are on your own.
Okay. I'm gonna slowly approach the figure.
As you approach the tree, you begin to hear knocks. And then the knocks stop, and you just hear a voice in your head.
Astra.
That just says,
Just like that.
Yeah.
get rid of it. That staff will bring you nothing but danger. I can't keep an eye on you and your companions and keep you safe without it, or with it in your possession.
Pastor?
Yes?
Can you turn around so I can see you?
No. It's not yet done.
Oh, come on. It's been so long.
Does he have elephant ears? Is he my dad?
It's just a silhouette.
It's oddly familiar.
Yeah.
You can feel in your pocket the like pocket watch, compass, whatever it is like whirring. It's going crazy. It's like vibrating with intense strength.
What did I just feel on my leg? Oh.
Oh, no.
I made a mistake with the staff. I want to destroy it, but I don't know how. I think that's what Hoku was going to do. How do I destroy it?
The staff itself isn't bad. It's more the fact that I can't see you. And I don't know what danger or trouble you're getting into.
Well, I'm not getting into any trouble.
There's something happening that is not supposed to happen. That was not supposed to happen. I don't know what it is, but something's wrong.
What are the chances? Because, let's be honest, the different options that you gave me of the
What options?
No, not those options. I'm talking about the options you gave me where, like, if I follow the path, like, I'm gonna be alone, but my friends will be okay, most likely, and I'll be back in the tower, blah, blah, blah. I guess that was the only option. It's not great. But what if this new timeline...
What are you talking about?
Oh, shit.
Haster?
Yes.
Was that when I died? I died. I saw myself,
You
but
saw
older.
yourself,
You were
but
there. Was that not
it was
you?
just me. There was just me.
No.
What else did you see? You feel. Make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, yeah. Psychic lance to
no.
the mouth hole.
Somebody's getting fucked.
10.
You feel a presence just in your head, and all of a sudden you're thinking thoughts that you don't recall thinking. There's flashbacks of memories and things that you saw this like event that you're describing just like coming to the forefront of your mind out of no like will of your own, just visualizing it. You can't see where you are, you're just seeing this tower, you're seeing yourself across from you, and you hear in your voice, that's interesting.
But I don't see the staff or the future me.
You see the entire scene that you saw,
Oh, I see.
but Haster seems like he's seeing it for the first time.
I see.
What does this mean, Astra? Who is she?
Who's who? The staff lady or old Astra?
How old are you right now?
I don't know, 20 maybe, 19?
I was wondering what was changing, what's supposed to happen. I guess it's you. Have much to think about.
Well, hold
You
on.
just feel this oppressive presence throughout all of this conversation. Your eyes have been closed, and you've been seeing what you're seeing on the back of your eyelids, almost as though your head hurts, and this voice is just booming in your head.
Wait. I want to do right by you. I know I messed up. I was panicked. I had to make a decision. The staff lady, she just told me that I had more time. She would give me more time, and that's the only thing that I needed. But now I know that I need to destroy the staff, and can you help me bring Hoku back, please?
Don't destroy the staff. Bring me the staff. We must talk.
Okay. Can you bring me back Hoku, please?
No. But I can bring you home.
I'm not ready to go home yet.
Finally.
You just feel this intense pain in your head.
Shit.
You will come home.
When?
You are on your journey to Silthia, yes?
Yes.
Travel to Silthia. Visit the Red Home. Stop him. And then come see me.
Is that the end of my journey?
I know not what you are planning, but we must meet face to face before you can derail this any further.
Well, I don't think this was really my fault, but
I think that's where you're wrong. I think this is all your fault.
okay, you know what, Haster? I don't like this tone from you.
Your fault. You just feel this headache and almost like a loud shattering noise in your head as you come to. Your head hurts. 50 points of psychic damage. You are absolutely wrecked by this experience. Your entire body is sore. Your blood gushing out of your eyes, out of your nose. Just
You've been a bad girl, Astra.
Jesus.
Cheez-Its?
Yeah.
you stagger for a moment, coming to and holding onto this tree that you seen this figure behind, that you assume was Astra, now no longer there. You get no response.
I'm gonna slowly walk over to Calthier
Completely fucked up.
Bloody nose.
Calder, you see Astra like almost limping and staggering over, covered in blood,
Fucking
clutching her
T-Rex
head with
daughter.
one hand.
What's happened to
You
you?
have a few like tears in there as well.
I tripped.
This doesn't look like you
Oh
fell.
my god, the worst lines.
Yeah.
Did
This might be the only campaign where we don't have to roll an insight check on a character. And just know, you know.
did something attack you on your way back?
Just a branch. I tripped into a branch and hit my head.
Going to cast a heal.
Don't worry, our character's gonna be a lot better.
What's that?
Didn't you say there's like blood gushing out of my eyes?
You're like crying blood, your nose is bleeding, your ears are bleeding.
It's a bland potato.
Yeah.
The bleeding.
Well. He goes up 1d4 per.
As he's doing that, I'm starting to wrap up the thing as I'm crying.
Holy bad. You suck
that
tonight.
everyone?
Good thing
No.
we're not in the fucking fight. Holy shit. Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah, it's just 13 hit
Thanks.
points. Oh, there it is.
You technically don't have the max hit points till I cast it again. It would have expired when we went to bed.
Yeah, it went away on its own when I long rested.
We need to get you back to the camp. Let's go.
You didn't touch this, did you?
No.
Hold on, before I go, and then I'm gonna mask of many faces to make it not look so bad.
Look like your bush again.
Hmm?
Look like your bush again.
The grass.
The grass. The grass. Yeah.
Oh god.
She looks the same. I don't know.
When we walk back, I'm just gonna be like real quiet and I'm not even gonna look at time. And normally I would go and like punch you or something and make a big fuss, but I'm just gonna be quiet and go and sit down.
What happened with the staff? Okay.
She'd be carrying it wrapped.
She has
again.
the staff just on her back, just wrapped in blood.
How did the orcs react to the whole ordeal?
They were shocked by the loud firing noise that you made. They
Oh, yeah,
came over and asked you,
Don't do
what is that? Is that weapon also a gift from Agonaz? Is he blessed you with this strange contraption?
No.
And Jamila's like, we've seen those. The last trader from Schema, he had, or not from Schema, from Riova's, he had a few.
Makes
Or
sense.
the trader from Schema said he'd found one in.
No better, friend. This is a gift from my sister. And then I probably have the flaring red eyes as because I engaged the storm room.
You use his gift so freely.
Just an emergencies, I suppose. But that bird, I don't trust it. It wanted to steal my friend's weapon. It's kind of
Okay.
a spy. I don't know. That's okay. Sorry about the noise.
Oh, and that will either scare things away or attract them. So we should probably break camp and head out here fairly shortly. Arkmer, what are you up to as you woke to this? You just woke to Kelter screaming or shouting at Astra to wake up because her Hoku was taking the staff, and then you heard a loud gunshot in the air.
There's just a bunch of things happening. See the staff falling in the air, and then I guess it'd be Astra and Calthy just going off.
Yeah,
Go get it.
to like look for it.
I mean, I don't know what to make of it, so I think at that point, I'm just looking around, seeing who's around. Just folks, I guess at the campfire, is Jamila around?
Yeah, they're all around. They're made like some food and they're eating like some stew. You can go join them if you'd like.
Yeah. I'll ask Jamila about the arrows in her quiver. So I noticed, I think, when we were by the dinosaur at the time that she had some special magic arrows, or they looked magical in some ways.
They are enchanted. And they're tipped with these. Some of them have different charges, different explosives or shock materials.
Did you make them yourself?
No, we acquired them. I paid pretty steeply for these, to be entirely honest. The arrows are my specialty. This is my weapon of choice. When you become like a hunt leader, they let you pick a weapon and use it for the rest of your time hunting, and my weapon of choice has always been the bow. And these arrows I picked up the last time somebody was traveling through and wanted to save them for my coming of age hunt.
Special.
She pulls out one from the quiver, and you notice that like the arrowhead itself, or the arrow itself, is made of like almost like a lighter metal. Not electrosteel, but like a light, almost like an aluminum style, making it be able to travel farther. She mentioned this as she's explaining. This material is light. It travels farther, but has less impact. But that's mitigated by, she points to the arrowhead, as there's like a small like explosive, like she mentions, there's like this explosive canister at the end that, when it contacts with something, will ignite and go off in like a big explosion. Better for long distances, but large targets.
Do you find, is that your best option against some of the creatures out here? Or?
The targets are definitely very large, and keeping them at a distance were definitely very helpful. I have maybe 2 or 3 of those, and then she pulls out another one, and this is like, it's got like little canister like net inside of it. She has a few arrows that are all performing different functions. She mentions to you, and you make an Arcana check.
Not great. 9 before I add my...
You would fail that check.
13.
You notice that while the arrows are themselves very finely built and definitely would be very useful to anybody, there are also like runes carved on them, and like arcane runes carved on them that almost serve as a conduit of like your own magic. So it seems like even to use these arrows to their fullest potential, you need to have like a sense of like innate magic or magical ability, at least a little bit, in order to imbue these arrows with some of the extra powerful effects.
Should be down for a friendly competition of shooting some arrows?
I would not want to waste any of these in the competition.
We have some plain or regular ones.
Oh, for sure, yeah. You can definitely try and hit some targets. It will keep my accuracy up and my muscles limber. So yeah, she agrees, and you both go off to fire some arrows and some knives at trees.
Not got bow.
There. Cool. As Astra and Kelther, you come back to camp.
I won't say anything because I think she just came back and sat down, right?
Mm-hmm.
But
Well,
you...
I'm gonna be like looking through our stuff to see if I have the components to cast Find Familiar.
Okay. But you masked up to hide stuff, right? So
Yeah.
I obviously noticed she did that.
Yeah.
I don't know why or what happened or why she's hiding it. Clearly she doesn't want others to know, but I saw it. So I'm not going to say anything, but I'm just going to hand you like a dark cloth to clean up. And then...
Blow my nose with it.
Explodes with blood on
Well,
it.
it's a dark cloth, so theoretically it wouldn't be as easy to see if anybody...
Yeah.
But
Like, disguise self does put like a visual illusion, but as you like dab your face clean, the blood does come off into it.
Thank you.
I'm just gonna go off to the side, but I'm gonna keep an eye on her because I don't know what's happening.
Cool.
Do we... Arknir?
Hmm?
Kalthir? God damn it. Do we have charcoal, incense, and herbs?
I definitely don't have charcoal.
Oh yes.
I mean, you could probably.
I think
make
you
some.
had a few,
thought-
like, you bought a few
I thought we
uses
only
of
bought
it.
enough for the
For
one
one.
cast. Yeah.
And these guys don't like fires, you said?
Well, they have a
Yeah.
fire.
They
at
had a
night.
fire, they were
They
cooking.
do?
They
There's
didn't
no
have
fire
fire
at
at
night.
night.
Yeah.
Oh,
There's
okay.
definitely charcoal.
There will likely be charcoal, but the
Yeah,
incense.
the
and other
incense
things.
is, yeah. You have bought it in the past, I just don't know how much you bought it.
Mhm.
Because it has also been a while since we've been to a shop where
Yeah.
you could buy it, right? So, I would
Copy.
say we can roll for it.
Get ready,
What are the
another bullet.
chances? Let's say on a 13 plus, or 13 and over, you have some left over, enough for one use
Okay. Of all the stuff?
of incense.
Of incense.
Everything else you
Well,
can
charcoal you'll
kinda
find at the fire.
Grab, okay.
It's destiny. It's
That's
destiny.
a lie.
You don't have it. In fact, you find out that you like you find that you have some, but it's not enough.
Okay.
That's what you get for a natural one.
Kalthir,
Oh no.
Destiny
It's
dice.
even worse.
can you please ask Timon to ask the clan for some charcoal?
Sure. I'll just go over and say, would we be able to gather some charcoal once we're done with the fire? Astra's in
Well-
need of some.
I heard of her. I get it. She's mad. I shot her bird.
Kalthir, can you please tell Timon that I need about 10 gold?
I'm not an owl!
Gold.
I think he heard you.
In that case, can you please tell Timon that he's a buttface?
Heard you. Last, the bird was stealing the stuff. Okay. You take your time. And then I go take a look at the embers of the fire to see if I can.
You can find some charcoal. Charcoal will not be the problem, but incense, you do not have enough incense to
Or
perform
herbs?
the ritual. Incense is the main money.
I think maybe
component.
just a little bit of charcoal, not too much.
Mhm.
Definitely not enough. Then I set it aside, I throw some sand on it. Alright. Then I come over.
See you.
These are a little hot, lass, but
Kalthir, can you please tell Timon he can set it down over there?
are you not gonna talk to me?
Kalthir, please tell him no.
I'm not saying anything.
That bird is a spy, lass. I don't think it has your best interests at heart. It has something else. I might not know much about magic or whatever it is that you talk to, but I used to not believe you. I used to think you were just hearing voices or something. But now I kinda do, and I don't think it has your best interest. We do. So, here you go.
I don't say anything, but as soon as you turn around, I wipe a tear that you can't see because of Mask of Many Faces. It's hiding it.
And I don't know that you're beat to shit.
No.
You wipe the tear, but there's blood on your hand.
So you begin to break camp and head out on this second day's night's travel. You head out as the sun sets. Today the sky is clear. You can see the moonlight shining upon your
Oh, it's
back.
time to go.
You
The
travel.
lad kept sleeping.
It was
with the
good.
shot-
I've
the
never
gunshot.
slept in the rain and everything like that before. It was beautiful.
Very impressive.
You head out into the darkness, and probably about halfway through your travel, you can see off in the distance as this grass has kind of become more petered out and lower on the ground.
Really quickly, just as we are getting going, like kind of packing up and everything, I will go over to you and just say, by the way, I overheard you speaking with Gorza. I think that's who you're talking to.
Either him or Durog. I
One of
don't
the
know.
two. They mentioned the term the Eye, I think is like their clan. I don't know if it means anything, but I did hear the phrase before, may the Eye of the Storm watch over you. Given that they're called the Eye and they seem to worship the god of the storms, perhaps it means something to them.
Who did say that again?
I decoded it from Clanko's book.
And I had no idea.
That-
Above the table.
The phrase?
You
No,
mentioned it.
I read everything.
He's
I
also
decoded
said it a
from-
few times.
I did.
to
I
people,
said it
particularly
to
to Karis.
I said it to Karis. I don't remember if he said anything about it, but I said it to Clanko, but nobody knows that I did that because I said it to him alone, and he did react to it awkwardly.
Okay. And
Just
do you think that that's friend or foe? Should we be worried?
you can ask them if that means anything to them? I don't know. It seemed Possibly.
May the eye of the storm watch over you? Alright, I'll ask. They seem to be friendly. I mean, that one has a daughter, a little one. I forgot her name. I said that my hammer might have been broken and rebuilt because of the destroyer. Do you think that's true?
maybe. It's hard to know what the will of the gods are.
But what does God want with me?
That's hard to say. Perhaps you'll get a chance to speak with him in some form at some point.
I hope not. Gods are scary.
Some of them.
You head out and break camp. You begin on your second night's journey towards the edge of the Cradle Fields, where this camp is located. And you can see off in the distance, relatively soon, lights, candlelight, and some sort of floating lights off in the distance. And Jamila is leading you all towards it. Still keeping an eye out, especially now that it's wide open. You can see her very often looking out in the distance, and also scanning the horizon down low. But she mentions now we're within ranging distance from camp. It's usually either safe, or if something happens to us, they'll send out riders. So we should be fairly capable of making quick work tonight. The camp has moved a little. I saw off in the distance today when I was keeping watch during the day. They were moving and continuing their travel further south, so we might catch up to them closer to dawn, but it's well in the direction of where you want to go anyways, so you begin making your way there. Make one last survival check for me. Someone.
My rolls have been fantastic. I have okay survival.
I have no modifiers, so
Normally,
Jamila's still mostly leading, and she has pretty good survival, so you'll probably be fine. But if she
16?
rolls poorly, it's good too.
16.
She rolled an 18, so
Okay.
she begins to lead you. There's a few moments where you can see off in the distance like a shape darting across, like almost parallel with you, and then like turning away. You can hear like large stomping noises off in the distance, but they all stay very much out of the distance. there is again a storm this time closer to you and a little off to the left, probably in the direction where you would have been headed. But the camp that you're headed to has since moved, and you gather that might have been part of why they were moving today. But yeah, you notice off in the distance these like dim lights of like candles or lanterns hanging from caravans, from carts. And as you begin to approach closer to dawn, there's a bit of a activity among these caravans. It's a fairly large group. You can see probably like 30 or 40 different like caravans, wagons, tents. Very few tents, mostly designed for moving quickly and moving. So a lot of the houses that they have have wheels or are built on caravans. Lots of animals. You can see not just the bears that you have heard. You can see off in the distance like a couple of these tall-necked like creatures that are just grazing. Kind of like a giraffe, but not quite. A little shorter, a little stubbier, like leaning down and eating, seemingly grazing on grass. You notice the activity like at night it's mostly just guards, but as you begin to approach and as dawn comes, you notice children, you notice people getting up and coming out and seeing the result of the hunt. There's a very jovial term, or a very jovial mood from around as people begin to shout out and like, hey, Jamila's back, huzzah, she survived her hunt, blah blah blah, like different things in all motley of languages, like many you don't recognize. And as you look around, you see a large group of like different people.
There's
orcs, there are bugbears
nice.
you've seen in the past. There's
He's dead.
tall.
Maybe this was before.
You notice almost like tall individuals with half the body of a human and half of a horse. You notice
Which part's
beastmen. This way.
Wait a minute.
Horse head, man body.
Yeah. You notice orcs. You notice half orcs. You even spot some like dark-skinned gnomes. Just a wide variety of people.
Any Loxodons?
You do not see any Loxodons.
Do we see any? What's the name of those dark dwarves? The
Duergar?
yeah, Durgar, or any goblins?
You definitely see some goblins.
Ooh.
Oh boy.
You do not see any Duergar.
Uh-oh.
But you definitely see some goblins. In fact, you see like a couple goblin kids who were just running around, and like they come rushing up to Jamila, and Jamila is like, and they come up and they rush up, and as soon as they see people not of the tribe, they immediately dart back.
Yeah, I hiss at them.
You notice a lot of the folks here actually like they're celebratory, and they approach, and as soon as they see other people, they're like hesitant. You arrived here on the edge of the Glass Desert, but the encampment and caravan of Clan Nox. That's probably where we'll pick up next session.
Home.
Just on the edge. In fact, I think as you look out over the horizon, you can see the dust blowing in the sand. But it is very hard to miss. Off in the distance, a very thick and dense black cloud and red lightning coming from it, which you gather might be your destination.
Zach? Ah, crap. Sandworm.
Crazy episode.
This was cool. I shot the bird, then I hit. It was just at the edge of my range.
Been a long time coming.
I don't know what's worse. I don't know what's worse.
Yeah, I know.
Whether he should have gotten the staff or if he should have learned that there might be multiple Astras. Just saying, I don't know what's worse.
Uh-oh.
Hey, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
I did what my character
Other
would
side
have
of
done.
Yep.
That is true.
Alright. Until the next time.
Yep. He was good.
I am scared.
Bye.
I'm in